Hello guys, in this video we're going to look at percentage change, but we're going to look at it using a multiplier. So what I'll say first is there's many different ways you can do percentage change, so don't take it that this is the only way of doing it. The only reason I show you this way is because when it comes down to compound interest, exponential growth and decay, etc., then using multipliers is pretty much a must, okay? So it's good to get used to it now with some smaller percentage changes. So let's look at this question. We've got an increase 940 by 53%. So the first thing I'm thinking is, right, it's an increase, so my number's got to be above 940 at the very end. Probably I'm going to estimate somewhere between maybe 1500 and 2000, or maybe even less than that, but definitely more than 1000. So I'm going to look at 940 in this way. So 940 is equal to, that's my 100%, that's what I'm starting off with. And after that, what's happening is I've got that 100%, and it's going to increase by 53%. So I'm picturing in my head that at the moment now I've got 153% at the very end. What I want to do is change percent into a decimal, which is what our multiplier is going to be. And to change any percent into a decimal, I need to divide it by 100. So my multiplier in this case is going to be 1.53. So I can use this multiplier. I can either multiply with it or divide with it to find my answer. It's going to be a multiply because 940 is getting bigger. So 940 multiplied by 1.53. I'll do this in the calculator, one go, and then I've got my answer. So there's no need to try and find 50%, 1%, etc., etc., and add them up. It's one calculation, like so. So my answer is 1438.2. It's not money, so I can leave it as a 0.2. I wouldn't be expecting you to do your bars every time. That's just a way of visualizing it and see what's happening. That's what I like to do, at least initially when doing it. So you don't have to do it every time, but the key thing there is changing that percentage into a decimal, divide it by 100, and then multiply after that in one go. So here's our next example. See if you can start it for yourself, maybe draw the diagram, see what's happening to that amount, given it's a decrease. What will our multiplier be, and see what you get. Pause the video now. Right, let's see how you did on that. So I'm starting off with 100% as always. And this time it decreases by 17%. So what happens is I take 17% off of that 100%. And I'm then left with 83%. So essentially I want to find 83% of 350. Now this 83% I can write as a multiplier. It would be 0.83. And we should know already that if I multiply a number by something less than 1, it's going to decrease that number. So if I do 350 multiplied by 0.83, it will give me my very final answer. So that was 350 multiplied by 0.83, and here's my answer, 290.5. Again, it's not money, so I don't need to put an extra decimal place in. 0.5 is absolutely fine. So that's what a decrease looks like. So again, key things there. Think about what percent am I going to be left with at the very end. Is it increasing or decreasing? Change that percentage into a multiplier so I can do the calculation in one go. And changing a percent to a multiplier, or a decimal I should say, is always divided by 100. So you've got two questions here for yourself. I'd suggest have a go at them. Even if you can think about what's that new percent going to be, it's going to be more than or less than that 100%. what's my multiplier going to be, and work it out in the calculator. Pause the video now. Right guys, so on the first one we had increase 144 by 7%. So I start off with 100%. My new amount will be that 100% plus 7% tacked onto the end. So I have 107% will be my answer. To express as a multiplier, divide by 100. So I'm going to use 1.07. In my calculator, you'll need to do 144 multiplied by 1.07. Which we can see is 154.08. Hopefully you got that right. If not, I'd suggest pause the video again and maybe have a go at that decrease one, or see what you've done and check if you've done it correctly. Maybe if you made a mistake up here, double check you haven't made the same mistake below. So we're starting off again with 144, so that's my 100%. This time it's a decrease, so I've got that 100%, and it decreases by 77% actually this time. I'll put it on this side. So we take away 77%, which means I'm left with 23%. So that's what my final answer will be. It'll be 23% of 144. I can get it in one go using a multiplier. The multiplier would be 0.23. So 144 multiplied by 0.23. And our answer is there, 33.12. So, as I said at the start, this isn't necessarily the only way to calculate percentage change, particularly increase and decrease, but it is one that's good to know, particularly if you're going to be going on to later compound interest, exponential growth and decay, where it's a percentage change over maybe 4, 5, even up to 10, 12, far more years than that. You don't want to be doing it every year. So knowing how to use percentage change using a multiplier will be very useful for that. Thank you for watching the video.